Hello everyone. Today we shall continue the second chapter of Unit 3, that is Didi, the life story of Shine Mistry. In this chapter, Shine Mistry explains the various experiences she had while she worked as a volunteer in Mumbai, and later she decides to stay in Mumbai and she decides to do something for the children of India. And as the first step, she has decided to join the St. Saviour's College for her undergraduation. Now we shall see what happened next. I went straight through the side door. Father De Cruz looked up quizzically and opened his mouth, but before he could say something, I blurted out what I had rehearsed. Shine Mistry has decided to use the side door to principal's office, and she went straight through the side door, and when the principal of St. Saviour's College saw Shine Mistry, he was confused. And who was the principal of St. Saviour's College then? It was Father De Cruz. See the word quizzically. Quizzically means puzzled, confused, etc. So the principal was confused to see her. And before the principal could ask anything, Shine Mistry said something suddenly before the father, that means the principal, could ask her anything, because she has already rehearsed what she should tell the principal. See the word blurt out. Blurt out means to say something suddenly. Father, my life is in your hands. I want to do something for the children of India. I don't know how, only that I must. So these are some of the dialogues which she had already rehearsed. And when she met the principal, she said this dialogue suddenly. And she said, Father, my life is in your hands. I wanted to do something good for the children of India, but I really do not know what I should do, but I think that I must do something for them. He was curious, Agamshayana, enough to ask me a few questions, and at the end of our conversation, the father thankfully granted me admission to St. Saviour's College. So the principal was very curious, so he asked Shine Mistry a few questions, and after the conversation, principal was very happy to give Shine Mistry admission to St. Saviour's College. So thus, she gets admission to St. Saviour's College in Mumbai. The academic system at Saviour's was different from the system in the US. Here, a far more bookish form of learning replaced the academic rigor and intellectual stimulation I had received in Massachusetts. I quickly realized that I would be able to learn more in the city beyond the classroom. Now Shine Mistry is making a comparison between Indian educational system with that of the educational system in US. And Shine Mistry says that in India, people promote bookish form of learning, whereas in the United States, they give more importance for academic rigor and intelligence. So the academic system in India was totally different from the academic system in the US, because in India we give more preference for bookish form of learning. That means you read the book, you by heart it, and you memorize it in the exam. But in Massachusetts, in the US, they give more importance for academics as well as for your intelligence. And soon Shine Mistry understood that if you go out of the classroom, you will get a lot of experiences which will be valuable in your future life. Now that I lived in India, I wanted to understand it in a different and deeper way than I had during my summer holidays. I walked around the city just watching and listening. So now she has decided to stay in India, and she wanted to know India in a different as well as in a deeper way. So she walked around the city just watching everything happening around her, happening in the city, and also listening to what is going on around her. One day I walked into a sprawling low-income community which was a maze of tiny alleyways buzzing with life. One day she happened to walk into a sprawling low-income community. Sprawling means, you see the word sprawling here, sprawling means large area with a lot of buildings, but the place and the buildings will not be that much neat. വൃത്തിഹീനമായ ഒരു സ്ഥലം. So she happened to walk into such a place. It was a place where poor people lived. That place was like a maze. Buzzing means low sound. An estimated 10,000 people lived here with no running water, no system of waste disposal, and shared 6 dark cubicle toilets that lined an adjoining alley. So what was the situation there? There were 10,000 people living in that community. There was no proper water, no proper waste disposal system. And for these 10,000 people, there were only 6 cubicle toilets. I walked around that afternoon speaking with children, wondering how life would be different if each one of them only had access to the opportunities that would fill their greatest potential. So, see, that afternoon, on that day, she walked around that place and she started speaking with the children who lived there. Soon she understood that if the people living in that community had the chance to use the opportunities out there, then their life would have been different. They would not have lived such a difficult life. If they had the chance to use the opportunities out in the world, their life would have been different. Walking down the narrow passageways, I must narrow idingiya have looked a little dazed when a soft-spoken girl dressed in a beautiful saree welcomed me into her home. Walking through the narrow passageways, she looked a little dazed. Dazed means unable to think normally. So suddenly she met a girl who was very soft-spoken and she was wearing a beautiful saree and she welcomed Shine Mistry to her home. Her name was Sandhya. So the name of the girl who invited Shine Mistry to her home was Sandhya. She was also 18 like me. She did not speak a word of English and I did not speak a word of Hindi. But she smiled and laughed and chatted a lot. And I felt an immediate connection with her. Sandhya's life was so different from mine. See, Sandhya and Shine Mistry, both of them were 18 years old. But Sandhya did not speak English and Shine Mistry, she did not speak Hindi. See, both of them do not know each other's language, but still Sandhya smiled at Shine Mistry, she laughed with her, and also both of them talked a lot, even though both of them did not understand the language the other person spoke. And then Shine says that Sandhya's life was so different from Shine's life. Every day I would go to her house after college. Her home was smaller than the bathroom of my house. So from that day onwards, she started visiting Sandhya's house after college. And Shine says that Sandhya's house was smaller than Shine Mistry's bathroom. When a few children poked their heads inside the doorway to say hi to us, she welcomed them in. See, there will be small children who would come to Sandhya's house to say hi to Sandhya as well as Shine Mistry. When Sandhya sees those children, she would welcome all the children to her house. These children eventually formed the first class I would teach, and these children slowly helped Shine Mistry to form the first class she would teach. Every day a few more kids would crowd into the little home and ask to learn a few words in English or a little math or a song. Even though I knew very little of India, I felt useful and confident. So every day more and more children started coming to Sandhya's house and Shine Mistry would teach them 1 or 2 words in English, a little maths or sometimes a song. See, Shine Mistry did not know much about India, but when she started teaching those children, she felt very useful as well as confident. This became my routine. This became Shine's daily practice. So every day after college, she would go to Sandhya's house. There, she would teach the children a few words in English, a little math or a song, and they became the first class of Shine Mistry. So this was the routine. I would leave college as soon as I could and rushed to my new world in the community. Here I saw truth and hope. So every day after college, she is very much excited to meet the children in the low income community. She would rush towards the new world. And in that community, among those children, she saw truth and hope. The children would shout Didi, Didi excitedly when I went there. This was starting to feel like a lifelong commitment. And whenever the children saw Shine Mistry, they would call her Didi, Didi. And this became a lifelong commitment. Ankansha was born of the simple idea that India had people who could teach, spaces that could be utilized as classrooms, and the funds with which to educate all the children. Everything exists. I just need to find a way to bring all together. So finally, she had decided to start Ankansha Foundation for the betterment of poor children. And she says that she decided to start Ankansha because she knew that in India there are a lot of people who are eligible to teach. And then there is a lot of space which could be utilized as classrooms. And also in India, funds are available to educate these children. So everything exists in India. What we must do is that we need to bring all these three things together. So in India, we have people who are eligible and capable of teaching children, or there is a lot of space that can be utilized as classrooms. And also we have enough funds available to educate these children. So the things are available here: people, space and fund. What Shine Mistry had to do, she needs to bring all the three things together. The people in the community wanted only three things: housing, water and education. I realized that if I wanted the students to take school seriously, they needed an environment free of the community's distractions. Distraction means something that takes away attention. നമ്മുടെ ശ്രദ്ധ തിരിക്കുന്ന. So we started the search for our first Ankansha Center space. Soon, Shine Mistry understood that the people living in the low-income community, they only wanted three things. What are the three things? Housing, water and education. Soon, Shine realized that students in that community should be taken to such an environment where they will not feel any kind of distraction, where they will not experience any kind of community's distraction. Only then these students will take education and their studies seriously. So we started the search for our first Ankansha Center space. So Shine Mistry started searching for a space where she could teach these children, where the students will be free from every type of distraction, where the students will be able to learn or take education seriously. So she started searching for the first Ankansha Center. I approached 20 schools in the city requesting to give just one classroom in their school building for 3 hours every evening. All of them refused for the most illogical reasons. So for starting the first Ankansha Center, she approached 20 schools in Mumbai city and she requested the school authorities to give her just one classroom for 3 hours every evening. And most of the schools rejected her request, stating some silly reasons or some illogical reasons. And now we shall see what were the reasons. Now we shall see what are the illogical reasons put forward by the school authorities. Some administrators claimed that the idea of teaching underprivileged children was way too revolutionary, Viplavagaram, while others complained that they would spread diseases to other students. See, some administrators, administrator means management or managers, some administrators of the school said that if you teach the underprivileged children, it would be a revolutionary activity and those schools or those administrators were not ready to support such a revolutionary activity. And some administrators complained that these underprivileged children, these poor children, may spread diseases to other students in the school. A principal of a reputed school even complained how she simply couldn't allow the children into her school as the glass bangles worn by the daughters of the fishermen would scratch the desks of her classroom. She was not ready to give classroom to Shine Mistry, stating that the glass bangles worn by the daughters of fishermen, they would scratch the desk of her classroom. Finally, when I was almost ready to give up, upekshikkuka, the principal of the Holy Name High School in Colaba agreed to give a room that became the first Ankansha Center. So finally, she was about to give up her idea of starting Ankansha Center, and at that time, the principal of the Holy Name High School in Colaba agreed to give her a classroom, and that classroom became the first Ankansha Center. So when she visited 20 schools, most of the schools rejected her, stating some illogical reasons. Some said it is a revolutionary activity. Some said children may spread diseases. One of the principals said that the glass bangles worn by the daughters of fishermen would scratch the desk. And finally, somehow she was able to get a classroom. I mobilized volunteers from St. Xavier's to teach and made a rough plan of what they would teach. I just wanted the class to be a place where the children can feel safe, a space where they can leave the difficulties of their lives behind and just be children. So she was able to organize volunteers from St. Xavier's College, and she and the volunteers, they made a plan of what they would teach. She always wanted the classroom to be a safe place for children, where the children will not think about the difficulties of their lives, where they will enjoy the life of a child. Ankansha formally came into existence in 1991. From a single class with 15 children, Ankansha grew to 58 centers and 6 schools with over 3,500 children. So officially, Ankansha came into existence in 1991. In 1991, when she started the center, there was only one classroom and there were only 15 children. But now there are 15 centers for Ankansha, there are 6 schools, and over 3,500 children are studying in Ankansha Center. The program developed very organically over years. So this program is developing organically over the years. So this program has got a proper structure and it is developing every year. Like a soup made special by chefs, tossing in what's needed after each tasting. The programs developed by Ankansha is like the soup made by the chef. So every time the chef will be tasting it and the chef will be adding the missing ingredients to it. Likewise, every year the program will be checked and they will be adding or reorganizing the structure of the program. A blend all its own. Ankansha Center is actually a blend of everything. Blend means mix. The stock ingredients were basic English and math, to that a dash of value, self-esteem and confidence. See, what are the things being taught in Ankansha Center? They teach the children English, maths, means basic English and basic maths, and also values, self-esteem and confidence. VD is actually taken from the work Redrawing India, which was written by Shine Mistry and Kovid Gupta. So this is the end of second chapter of Unit 3. Please go through the chapter, understand it well. Thank you.